I think that, yes, I agree with this.
You know, that's fine.
Personally, in our culture, I think it was wrong, but in her culture, I guess she was justified, so.
Michelle?
Anything.
Alright, Miss Act. Try not to say the same thing. It's not supposed to get all of you involved. But go ahead, Dylan.
I think she was right.
Huh? Are you part of the conversation?
I can be.
Go ahead.
Like my personal opinion is that, prostitution isn't right. But from her perspective and in the situation that she was in, I think that she saw prostitution as her only way out of the situation she was in. It was her chance to free herself and have a choice in what her future was going to be, so that she could have more rights than another woman. So in her eyes, I think that she felt prostitution, I think that she was torn, because I do think that there was a period where she felt prostitution was wrong, but when she went into the workforce and realized that she was still a prostitute to a certain degree, she felt like, well, at least if I'm this kind of prostitute, I can have control over my own life. So I think that her perspective on prostitution changed through the course of the novel, and that in her eyes it was the most right thing she could do.
Dylan?
I think she was right. I mean, I would have prostituted, I guess.
I would have prostituted. Josh?
Yeah, through, like you said, the sympathy that comes through the frame device, it makes us think she was correct in doing it, because through her own eyes, she was correct in doing it.
So,
I think there are some aspects of it that are wrong, but that are also right. I think that her doing it just so she could have control over the men that were in her life was wrong, but to provide for herself, to give herself like the luxury items in her life, to give herself what she wanted in life, that was her way of doing it, and she found that it was right. So.
Okay, I think that she was right because going back to what Matt said, it's kind of like her way and her culture, so it was like an escape for her to go ahead and do what she wanted to do and try to make a name for herself. So.
I don't think it's a question of right or wrong. I think it's a question of justification, and I do believe she was justified in her actions.
alright, Trevor and Avery. Well, you already answered, so Avery, go ahead.
I agree with everyone.
Well, I don't think in our culture that she's justified, but in her culture, I think that she did what she needed to provide for herself. The first time, I think she was kind of tricked into it, but I think as she went along, she discovered that this is what I can do to make money for myself and to get myself higher in society, and this can help me, no matter how, if it's wrong or right. At that point, it wasn't a question. I have to do this.
Right.
I think as Americans, like you were saying earlier, our mindset is like, we want to show sympathy for her, but yet she still is wrong in what she's done within the Egyptian culture. She was justified in how she had to go into prostitution to better herself.
I agree with what Trevor said.
Hey, I gotta keep doing flashbacks with what you guys.
Well, it's all really the same thing. It's
Yeah,
all
true.
the same thing that we think that can we judge her actions because we're.
She said. I thought you said I agree with. I thought you said I agree with my concept. Victoria, go ahead.
I agree with Ms. Atkinson. I think that the first time was kind of like, it wasn't really justified, but then when she went back into it after realizing that the workforce wasn't any better and that she was still being prostituted in a way, that it was just better to do it in her own way.
Nobody else? I mean, I don't see how it could. Stutz? I didn't forget you. Go. Just think you agree with someone.
I think she was justified.
Yeah? Alright. Anybody? I don't know how.
Avery was saying something that sounded really smart, so I think we should listen to him.
No. Go ahead.
Okay. I can't make anyone talk.
Okay.
I don't know how it could have, but does anyone